You're listening to the Wednesday morning edition here on WCBU. I'm Rich Drager. State lawmakers passed a budget and prevented another gas tax hike this spring, but did not take action to regulate data centers. State Representative Sharon Chung of Bloomington tells WCBU state Capitol correspondent Evan Holden she wants data center regulations, but did not want to see Governor J.B. Pritzker take away their tax breaks.
I do agree with a lot of the things that were, being proposed in the Power Act. A lot of the things that we are actually trying to do at McLean County ourselves through the McLean County Board, just trying to make sure that there's a lot of reporting around water usage and then making sure that they're bringing their own clean energy. All these sorts of things I think are great places to sort of be able to put in guardrails against what's happening with data centers right now. But I have to say that I did not really agree with the tax credit suspension because of this very reason, is that right now the data centers are going to come in anyway, one way or the other. And the tax credit was one way to really just try and ensure that if they were coming in, that they were putting in project labor agreements, using local union labor. Those for me were safeguards for local union jobs, and that they were doing things the right way. Again, the right way by making sure that they're hiring folks who are, trained and just certified to be able to do these things.
What would you say to people who would say, but now they have to pay their fair share, that they're not getting any tax incentives, that now these tax dollars will go directly back to local governments or the state government for next year's budget?
I think that right now, especially this year, we were able to balance the budget with or without. I mean, we did it without putting a pause on that tax credit, right? And we know how next year is probably going to be a tougher year than this year, and this year was pretty tough, to tell you the truth. But I have faith that we will be able to balance the budget again. Speaking
of the budget, it was another late night. And there are still complaints from Republicans that this budget was once again rushed through the process. Do you feel like there was enough time to look at the budget?
The budget was filed under, I want to say, it was filed like maybe 2 weeks ago, so that people were able to look at it. Maybe it was like a sort of initial draft, right? That we did try to work across the aisle. And I think that in the debate, probably you even heard like Leader Spain, who's a Republican from the Peoria area, even did get up and sort of said that there was more collaboration this year than in a couple of years past. And Speaker Welch also pointed to that fact too in his closing comments on the floor at 4:40 a.m. on Monday. So, this is my fourth budget I've done. Do I wish that things could be different? Yes. But, this is sort of the way that I'm just a rank and file member. I don't know what can be done to do it differently.
So moving on to the next topic, gas prices. Those have remained high, partially due to the war in Iran. There was a freeze on a motor vehicle tax that would have increased gas prices by a cent or two. Do you feel like there's any more that Illinois can currently do to lower gas prices?
And now, again, that increase is used when people are always sort of complaining about fixing the roads. That's what that increase is used for, right? So that it's capital money to fix the roads and bridges and, things like that all throughout the state. So it's something that I have always supported, to make sure that we are continuing to fund that motor fuel tax lockbox. So that we could use that money for that. But especially right now, given the circumstances that we're in, by no fault of our own, by what's happening internationally.
That was State Representative Sharon Chung speaking with Evan Holden. You're listening to Morning Edition here on WCBU Peoria Public Radio, part of the NPR network.